Erica hesitated at the threshold of the prison gates, her heart pounding as the weight of the past 3 years bore down on her. The iron doors creaked open, releasing her into a world that felt both unfamiliar and unchanged. The scent of freedom mixed with the harsh reality of loss as she scanned the horizon for any familiar face that might greet her. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows over the empty space outside the penal colony. It was a space that mirrored the void within her, a void left by the absence of the one person who had anchored her in this tumultuous world, her mother. Her steps echoed in the silence, a stark contrast to the cacophony of prison life she had grown accustomed to. The routine clang of metal doors, the distant shouts of inmates, and the constant hum of fluorescent lights, all replaced by an eerie stillness. As she reached the gate, expecting a warm embrace or a familiar face, she was met only with solitude. The realization hit her harder than any prison sentence could. There was no one waiting for her. Her mother, who had never missed a visit, had passed away during Erica's time behind bars. She found herself standing alone in that empty space, the weight of her belongings in a small bag on her shoulder. The words of the wise old woman from the prison infirmary echoed in her mind. Sorrow and grief cleanse the soul. Do good and find salvation in those actions. But how could she find salvation in a world that seemed to have abandoned her? Her cellmate's voice lingered in her memory. You're strong, Erica. Don't let the past define you. Drawing a deep breath, Erica faced the emptiness before her. The horizon stretched infinitely, mirroring the uncertainty that lay ahead. A solitary figure, the prison chaplain, approached. You're free now, Erica. It's a new beginning, he said, his voice a mix of compassion and encouragement. With a nod, she acknowledged the truth in his words. The chaplain handed her a small envelope. Your mother's belongings, he explained. Inside, she found a faded photograph and a letter, the familiar handwriting bringing a bittersweet ache to her heart. As Erica stepped outside the prison gates, she whispered, almost to herself, a new beginning indeed. The empty space awaited her, but with each step, she carried within her the resilience to face the challenges of a world that had both taken so much and offered the promise of redemption. In the quietude of her small apartment, Erica sifted through the remnants of a life shattered by false accusations. The faded memories of her life before prison mingled with the harsh reality of her recent past. Photographs on the wall depicted moments of joy, starkly contrasting the present darkness that loomed over her. The events leading to Erica's imprisonment replayed in her mind like a haunting melody. She recalled the day the police stormed into her home, the chaos as her mother screamed and cried, and the subsequent investigation that unraveled the fabric of her existence. In the dim light, Erica's gaze fixed on a framed photograph of her and Alex, her ex-boyfriend. He was the catalyst for the nightmare that ensued. The strong, handsome man she had once believed in had become the source of her undoing. Her cellmate, Maria, offered a sympathetic smile as she passed by. Erica, don't let the shadows define you. They're false, just like the accusations they cast upon you. Erica sighed, her eyes tracing the contours of the prison bars outside her window. How do you fight shadows, Maria? They cling to you, whispering accusations even when you're innocent. Maria sat beside her, the weight of her own story evident in her eyes. You fight them by proving the truth. Hold on to who you are, not who they say you are. In the prison infirmary, where Erica worked as a rehabilitation therapist, the prison doctor approached with a dismissive tone. You know, Erica, I might miss you when you're gone. Who else will keep me from getting lost in this mess of inmates? Her forced smile hid the resentment that brewed within her. I'm here to help people, not to be the butt of your jokes, doctor. As the days turned into months, Erica's skills in rehabilitation became a beacon of hope for her fellow inmates. She created makeshift therapy sessions, combining techniques from various sources into a cohesive system. Inmates and guards alike sought her expertise, turning a blind eye to the lazy doctor's apathetic attitude. One day, Maria offered a piece of advice that lingered in Erica's mind. Sorrow and grief cleanse the soul. Do good, and find salvation in those actions. Those words became a mantra, guiding Erica through the darkest moments of her imprisonment. As Erica faced the uncertainties of her future, the false shadows of accusation seemed to stretch endlessly. Yet within her, a flicker of determination ignited. The whispers of shadows could not drown out the resilience she had nurtured, and somewhere in the darkness, the truth awaited its moment to emerge. The first rays of dawn painted the sky as Erica, adorned in the drab attire given to her upon release, stepped into the bustling city. The cacophony of urban life replaced the prison's silence, a stark reminder of the world she had been estranged from for 3 years. Clutching a worn-out letter that promised a job opportunity, she made her way through the crowded streets. The address led her to an imposing mansion, a stark contrast to the cold confines of her prison cell. The gate creaked open, and a well-dressed man approached, his demeanor exuding wealth and authority. Mr. Smith, the father of her potential employer, Bruce, scrutinized Erica with a discerning gaze. "You're the one they sent for the nursing job?" he asked, his tone skeptical. Erica nodded, her gaze unwavering. "Yes, Mr. Smith, I'm Erica, and I'm here for the job." A smirk played on Mr. Smith's lips. "Bruce is a handful, you know. Many have tried, and many have failed. Are you sure you can handle it?" Erica's response was laced with determination. "I've handled worse, sir. I'm here to prove myself." As the gates closed behind her, Erica found herself in a world of opulence. The mansion's grandeur left her in awe, but she remained focused on the task at hand. A stern-faced housekeeper led her through the labyrinthine corridors, explaining the intricacies of her responsibilities. "Mr. Smith has made it clear. Bruce is not an easy patient. If you can endure his behavior, the job is yours," the housekeeper warned. In the spacious nurse's room, uniforms neatly hung in the closet awaiting their wearer. Erica felt a renewed sense of purpose as she changed into the nurse's attire. She glanced at herself in the mirror, her reflection echoing the resilience that had brought her to this moment. A soft knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. It was the housekeeper, offering a few more words of caution. "Remember, dear, resilience is your greatest ally here. If you can withstand Bruce's temperament, you might just be the nurse he needs." The first encounter with Bruce was not as intimidating as Erica had expected. Gazing into his cold, intelligent eyes, she introduced herself. "I'm Erica, your new nurse." Bruce's response was a nonchalant glance. "We'll see how long you last," he remarked, his skepticism apparent. Days turned into weeks, and Erica faced Bruce's challenges with unwavering calm. His obnoxious behavior, his profanities, she weathered it all. During a particularly challenging examination, Bruce spat in her face, expecting her to crumble. To his surprise, Erica wiped her face calmly and asked, "Do you fear the consequences of your actions, Bruce?" His eyes narrowed, curiosity replacing arrogance. "What do you care?" "I care about truth, Bruce. I've faced false accusations myself," Erica replied cryptically. In that moment, the seed of curiosity was planted. Bruce, though reluctant, began to see beyond the surface. And in the shadows of his arrogance, a glimmer of vulnerability emerged, laying the foundation for an unexpected connection. As Erica continued to navigate the challenges of the mansion, she couldn't shake the feeling that this job held more significance than merely earning a paycheck. It was a chance at redemption, not just for herself, but for the broken souls within those grand walls. The grandeur of the mansion loomed over Erica as she navigated its corridors. The nurse's room had become her sanctuary, a space where she prepared herself for the daily challenges that awaited her in the care of Bruce, the paralyzed millionaire with a temperament as unpredictable as the weather. In the vast office, Mr. Smith, Bruce's father, sat behind a large oak desk, his cold, intelligent eyes appraising Erica. "You've lasted longer than most," he observed, a hint of surprise in his voice. "Bruce is a handful, and we've had nurses come and go." "I'm here to stay, Mr. Smith," Erica replied with quiet confidence. Mr. Smith emphasized the conditions of her employment. "Bruce requires a patient and experienced nurse. He's not easy to tolerate. Can you handle that?" Erica nodded, her determination unwavering. "I've handled worse, sir. I'm committed to this job." Mr. Smith's attention shifted elsewhere as he dismissed her. "Very well. The housekeeper will show you everything you need to know." In the staff kitchen, the housekeeper, a pleasant and tactful woman despite her age, briefed Erica on the peculiarities of the mansion. "You'll find that Mr. Smith is rarely at home. Bruce is your primary concern. Endure his temperament and the job is yours." With a reassuring smile, Erica acknowledged the challenge that lay ahead. "Thank you, I'll do my best." The medical room, well-equipped yet seldom used, became Erica's domain. It was here that she conducted her examinations, tending to Bruce's physical needs while navigating the storm of his disdain. During one of their encounters, Bruce, in a fit of frustration, threw a small object at Erica. Unfazed, she calmly continued with her duties. "Temper won't change the reality, Bruce," she remarked, her voice steady. He sneered. "Reality? You think you know my reality." "I know what it's like to be falsely accused, to face shadows that aren't your own," Erica responded, her words hanging in the air. Bruce, intrigued by her cryptic statement, demanded, "What do you mean?" She met his gaze with a quiet intensity. "Perhaps we both have more to our stories than meets the eye." As days turned into weeks, Erica's endurance became evident. The mansion, once a place of imposing challenges, began to feel like a battleground she was slowly conquering. Mr. Smith, observing from a distance, noted her resilience with a raised eyebrow. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Mr. Smith approached Erica. "You're proving more resilient than I anticipated. Bruce has tested many, but you endure." With a modest nod, Erica replied, "I'm here to make a difference, Mr. Smith, not just for Bruce but for myself as well." As she faced the conditions and challenges of her employment, Erica's resolve remained unbroken. The mansion, with its grandeur and complexities, became a canvas where redemption was painted stroke by stroke. The echoes of her past were slowly fading, replaced by the rhythm of a new life, one that held the promise of healing and unexpected connections. In the hushed hallways of the mansion, Erica continued to navigate the challenges presented by Bruce's obnoxious behavior. As she assisted him during his daily routines, she couldn't help but sense that behind the veneer of arrogance, there lurked a past that held the key to his temperament. One evening, after another round of profanities from Bruce, Erica decided to subtly hint at her own past. "You know, Bruce, everyone has shadows they carry. It's how we face them that defines us." Bruce, reclined in his wheelchair, eyed her with suspicion. "What would you know about shadows?" Erica's gaze held a hint of empathy. "More than you might think. False accusations cast long shadows, and sometimes, facing them is the only way to move forward." His expression shifted, a flicker of curiosity replacing his usual contempt. "What are you getting at?" With a measured tone, Erica shared a fragment of her story. "I've faced accusations that weren't true, just like you. It changes you, doesn't it? But it doesn't have to define you." Bruce remained silent, his gaze fixed on a distant point. Erica continued with her duties, leaving the seed of introspection planted. Days passed, and the hints of the past lingered in the air between them. One evening, as Erica wheeled Bruce into the procedure room, he remarked, "Why do you care about my past? What's in it for you?" She met his gaze with sincerity. "Because sometimes, understanding someone's past helps in navigating the present. And I believe everyone deserves a chance at redemption." Bruce scoffed, but there was a subtle shift in his demeanor. "Redemption? I don't need redemption, I need answers. As their interactions continued, Bruce began to open up about the betrayal that had shaped him. She convinced me to give her a ride home, and then she flirted with another guy. I couldn't take it. I drove recklessly, and the accident happened. Erica, listening with empathy, responded, "Betrayal leaves scars, Bruce, but confronting it is the first step toward healing." Their exchanges became more nuanced, revealing layers of vulnerability beneath Bruce's tough exterior. Erica's ability to face her own shadows allowed her to connect with him on a level that transcended the typical nurse-patient relationship. One evening, after a particularly challenging day, Mr. Smith approached Erica. "I see you're making progress with Bruce. He's not an easy man to understand." With a humble smile, Erica replied, "Sometimes, all it takes is a shared understanding of the past to bridge the gap." As hints of the past continued to shape their interactions, Erica and Bruce found themselves on a journey of mutual discovery. The mansion, once a battleground, became a space where the echoes of redemption reverberated through the halls, and the shadows of the past began to recede. Within the confines of the mansion, a transformation unfolded as Erica continued her role as Bruce's nurse. The once daunting challenges became stepping stones toward an unexpected connection, and the mansion, with its grandeur, echoed with the subtle harmonies of newfound bonds. In the nurse's room, Erica prepared for another day, her reflection in the mirror reflecting a blend of determination and compassion. She could feel the mansion's rhythms, each creaking floorboard and echoing corridor, becoming familiar, almost comforting. One day, as Erica entered Bruce's room, she found him staring into the fireplace, lost in thought. "Bruce, it's time for your checkup," she announced, maintaining a gentle yet firm demeanor. He turned to her, his eyes betraying a vulnerability he rarely showed. "Why do you bother, Erica? No one else has." "Because everyone deserves care, Bruce," she replied, her voice unwavering. "Including you." Their interactions began to transcend the professional boundaries of nurse and patient. In the staff kitchen, the housekeeper observed the evolving dynamic. "You've softened him, Erica. It's been a long time since anyone managed that." Erica offered a modest smile. "Sometimes all it takes is understanding and patience." As days turned into weeks, Mr. Smith noticed the subtle shift in the mansion's atmosphere. "I didn't expect this, Erica. You're not just his nurse, you're becoming part of the family." With a hint of gratitude, Erica replied, "It's not just a job for me, Mr. Smith. It's a chance to make a difference." One evening, Bruce, reclined in his wheelchair, broached a subject he had long avoided. "Why did you become a nurse, Erica? What's your story?" She settled into a chair, ready to share more of herself. "I became a nurse because I wanted to help people, to make a difference. I know what it's like to face shadows, to be accused of something you didn't do. Redemption isn't just for others, it's for me too." Bruce regarded her with a newfound understanding. "You're not just here for a paycheck, are you?" "I'm here because everyone deserves a chance at redemption, Bruce." "Including me," Erica responded, her words resonating in the quiet room. Their connection deepened, transcending the physical care Erica provided. In the mansion's library, where silence spoke volumes, Bruce finally confronted the shadows of his past with Erica by his side. "You've made me face things I've avoided for years," Bruce admitted, his eyes reflecting a mixture of pain and gratitude. "Sometimes, facing the past is the only way to move forward," Erica replied, her voice a gentle echo in the quiet space. The mansion, once a fortress of challenges, had transformed into a haven where the Smith family found solace and unity. Erica's resilience had become a beacon of hope, not only for Bruce, but for Mr. Smith as well. As they navigated the complexities of their evolving relationships, the mansion's walls echoed with the subtle symphony of redemption. In the heart of opulence, a sense of family emerged, proving that sometimes the most unexpected bonds could form in the unlikeliest of places. Amidst the newfound bonds within the mansion, a shadow lingered, an unforeseen tragedy that would reverberate through the lives of those who called the grand estate home. The day began like any other in the mansion. Erica moved through her tasks with a sense of purpose, her connection with Bruce growing stronger each day. However, a weight hung in the air, hinting at the impending storm. In the early hours of the morning, as the sun painted the sky with hues of pink and gold, Erica received an unexpected call. The news shattered the fragile tranquility that had settled over the mansion, the tragic loss of a 2-year-old child. The director of the preschool, panic evident in her voice, explained the situation to Erica. Lily had a slight fever, lost consciousness, and was rushed to the hospital. We couldn't reach her mother, and we thought you were their emergency contact. The weight of responsibility bore down on Erica as she rushed to the hospital, fear gnawing at her. The child's life hung in the balance, and the echoes of tragedy threatened to engulf her. In the sterile corridors of the hospital, Lily's lifeless form lay on a cold hospital bed. Erica's eyes, filled with anguish, traced the delicate features of the child she had come to know and care for. As she struggled to comprehend the magnitude of the situation, the director confronted Erica, her voice trembling with a mix of grief and accusation. Where was Lily's mother? We tried to reach her, and she's not answering. Lily's emergency contact information led us to you. A heavy silence filled the room as Erica grappled with the realization that Lily's mother had neglected her duties, leaving the child in a dire situation. The weight of sorrow and guilt pressed upon Erica's shoulders, and her heart ached with the pain of an unforeseen tragedy. In the midst of this turmoil, Mr. Smith, sensing the distress, approached Erica in the hospital waiting room. "What happened, Erica? Why are you here?" he inquired, concern etched on his face. Struggling to find the words, Erica recounted the events that led to Lily's hospitalization. "I was their emergency contact. I didn't know. I thought I had more time," she confessed, her voice laced with sorrow. Mr. Smith's expression darkened with a mixture of sadness and anger. Lily's mother neglected her duties, and now a child's life hangs in the balance. This is a different kind of tragedy. As they waited for news from the doctors, the weight of the situation pressed upon them. The director, grief-stricken, approached Erica with a mix of despair and accusation. "You should have been there for Lily. You should have known." Erica, her eyes brimming with tears, responded with a heavy heart. "I thought I had more time. I never expected." The hospital intercom crackled to life, and a doctor emerged with somber news. Lily's condition had deteriorated, and despite their efforts, she had succumbed to the mysterious illness that had gripped her. In the wake of Lily's passing, grief enveloped the mansion like a shroud. The echoes of a different tragedy resonated through its corridors, leaving those who called it home grappling with the weight of loss and the harsh reality that some wounds may never fully heal. In the aftermath of Lily's tragic passing, the mansion, once a sanctuary, became a somber haven cloaked in grief. Justice had been served, yet the emptiness that lingered within its walls spoke of wounds that went beyond the courtroom. The legal proceedings unfolded, and Lily's mother and Erica's husband faced accusations of negligence and were held responsible for the child's untimely death. The court deemed it a clear case of child abuse, leading to their sentences. In the quiet solitude of the mansion's library, Mr. Smith sat with Erica, the weight of recent events etched on both their faces. "Justice has been served, Erica. They will face the consequences of their actions," he stated, a somber acknowledgement of the legal resolution. Erica, her eyes reflecting a mix of relief and sorrow, replied, "I never thought it would come to this, Mr. Smith. Lily deserved so much more." As they grappled with the sense of justice achieved, a hollowness lingered, a void left by the loss of an innocent life. The mansion's grandeur became a backdrop for silent contemplation, and the echoes of Lily's laughter seemed to whisper through the melancholy air. In the nurse's room, the housekeeper approached Erica with a mixture of sympathy and concern. "You've been through a lot, dear. Lily's passing the trial. It's a heavy burden." With a heavy sigh, Erica acknowledged, "It's not just about justice, is it? It won't bring Lily back." The housekeeper, her eyes filled with understanding, gently replied, "No, dear. Justice is a cold comfort when faced with such profound loss." In the evenings, as the mansion's occupants moved through its corridors with a sense of heaviness, Bruce wheeled himself into Erica's room. "I've heard about the trial," he said, his usually sharp gaze softened with empathy. Erica, her shoulders slumped with the weight of grief, nodded in acknowledgement. "It's over, Bruce. Justice has been served, but it doesn't fill the void Lily left behind." Bruce, his own experiences with tragedy giving him a unique perspective, remarked, "Justice can't replace what's been lost. But maybe, in time, healing will find its way." As the days passed, the emptiness within the mansion persisted despite the resolution in the court. Lily's room, now untouched, served as a poignant reminder of a life that had been extinguished too soon. In the dim light of Lily's room, Mr. Smith approached Erica. "I know justice was necessary, but it doesn't ease the pain, does it?" With a weary smile, Erica replied, "No, it doesn't. Lily deserved better." Together, they stood in the room that held memories of laughter and innocence, grappling with the complexity of emotions. Justice had been served, but the emptiness that resided within the mansion seemed impervious to the closure the court had provided. As they faced the stark reality of life moving forward, the emptiness became a constant companion, a silent witness to the complexities of grief, justice, and the persistent ache of loss. As life within the mansion continued, a tapestry of intersecting lives unfolded, a complex web of connections, redemption, and shared sorrows that defied the boundaries of circumstance. In the wake of Lily's passing and the legal resolution, the mansion's occupants found themselves entwined in a delicate dance of grief and healing. The echoes of justice lingered, but the mansion's grandeur now held the imprints of a collective journey, one that defied the constraints of a mere residence. One evening in the staff kitchen, the housekeeper and Erica shared a quiet moment. "It's strange, isn't it?" the housekeeper mused. "How our lives intersect in the most unexpected ways." Erica nodded, a reflective expression on her face. The mansion, once a place of challenges, has become a meeting ground for stories that overlap and intertwine. In the library, Mr. Smith and Bruce sat in contemplative silence. "Life has a way of connecting us, doesn't it, Dad?" Bruce observed, his gaze fixed on the flickering flames in the fireplace. Mr. Smith, a trace of a smile on his lips, replied, "Indeed, son. Sometimes the threads that bind us are invisible until the tapestry unfolds." As days turned into nights, Erica's interactions with Bruce took on a new dynamic. The once obnoxious millionaire had transformed into a man seeking redemption, and Erica, the nurse-turned-guide, became a linchpin in his journey. One evening, Bruce wheeled himself into the nurse's room, a vulnerability in his eyes that hadn't been there before. "Erica, I've been thinking about the past, about redemption. How do you find it?" She met his gaze with a sincerity that transcended professional boundaries. "Redemption isn't a destination, Bruce. It's a journey of self-discovery and healing, and sometimes it starts with forgiving yourself." Bruce, grappling with the weight of his own actions, nodded thoughtfully. "Forgiving myself, that's a lot harder than I thought." In the shared silence, their lives intersected in a moment of vulnerability and shared understanding. The mansion, once a fortress of challenges, had become a canvas where stories unfolded, collided, and found unexpected resolutions. In the staff kitchen, as the housekeeper observed the evolving dynamics, she remarked to Erica, "We're all stories in the end, and it seems our stories have chosen to intertwine here." Erica, gazing out of the kitchen window at the sprawling estate, replied, "Perhaps in the intersection of our lives, we find the strength to heal and move forward." As they faced the uncertainties of the future, the mansion stood as a testament to the resilience of intersecting lives. In the grandeur of its halls and the quiet corners where stories were shared, a sense of unity emerged, one that transcended the shadows of the past and embraced the promise of redemption, healing, and the unpredictable journey of life.